College basketball is finally here. And even though the games on the slate today are not a Super Tuesday worthy, I'm just super excited because we had so many games yesterday. We've got games today, and there's no NBA either. So listen, everybody's going to be on these college basketball games. I've got a few winners for you guys in them today. Two winners that we're taking on this Tuesday, the November 5th slate. Happy election day to you guys out there. Let's get into these winners. This is the free three. What's up, guys? It's your boy Noble Living back with another DYF Bets video where I'm bringing out my favorite picks and plays of the day as we're just trying to get to the bag together and make some money. This channel is here to put out plays, picks, give you guys analysis, ideas of what I think I like out there, as we're just trying to all beat the sportsbooks together. That is the whole purpose of the show. My goal is to be here every single day. Some days I just can't make it, so I do apologize for not dropping a video yesterday, but when I do show up, I show up, and you guys know that. And with college basketball here, this is my favorite time of year. Shout out to the Syracuse Orange Men for picking up the dub yesterday. Got a little sweaty. We didn't cover, but we still got the dub. And listen, there's so much different things that we're going to be doing here on the channel. So if you guys are not hitting that subscribe button, I don't know what you're doing, because Loot Riders, if you guys tapped into the show with me and Shark Lark, that is coming back as well. So we got some great things on the channel for you guys. I have a full recap, but I've been already yapping. What I'm going to do is just a quick screenshot of Friday and Saturday here on the channel. We went 1-2 on Friday, 2-4 on Saturday, 3-6 weekend. I didn't give out any picks officially on the channel on Sunday or yesterday. I did inside the Discord group, but not officially here on the channel. So that's what we did over the weekend. But new month, new slate, new get after it, all right? And with college basketball here, I'm pumped. I'm done yapping. Let's get into these winners for today. All right, let's get the party started. It is an ugly slate. You guys know that. Very wide spreads to start off the year, so you got to kind of pick and choose your spots. The first game that I'm going to take a look at is the Rice Owls versus FIU, and that's the FIU Panthers. And I'm going to take Rice here, -6.5, -110 odds. Now, I know most of you guys are probably not familiar with either one of these teams, but let me kind of give you guys a little kind of synopsis as to what's been going on with these programs. Right now, both these teams are not ranked very high in KenPom. Rice is 233, meanwhile FIU is 273. KenPom has this as a 4-point win for Rice, so we're actually losing like a little bit of value here on the spread, but this is one of those things that you guys are going to get used to if you tap into the channel with me. I'm going to refer to KenPom a lot because I love KenPom's numbers. I trust KenPom, but at the same time, it's not like I'm not going to live and die by KenPom. Just because they have a spread or just because they have a total or a number doesn't mean it's the end all be all. The reason why I like Rice here in this matchup is because Rice was not necessarily bad last season. Rice is a program that last season had their worst season in literally 5-6 years when they went 11-21 and finished 10th in the AAC. But this is the thing, that's a very strong American Athletic Conference. You got teams like Cincinnati there, you got teams like Memphis, and keep in mind, you also had a team like USF that completely outperformed last year, that made that conference even stronger than most people. Now you've got a new head coach there for the Owls, looking to change some things around. He's coming in from SMU, so because of that, he brings in a load of transfers as well. He's got Broadnax coming in from USC Upstate, averaging 14 points per game there. He's bringing Denver Anglin and Emery Lanier from SMU with him. He's bringing Villanova transfer Trey Peterson. So he's got a few different weapons that he's going to be bringing out with this Rice team. Obviously, it's going to take for some time for them to get acclimated, for them to get used to playing with each other. But again, for me, this is just more of a fade on FIU. FIU is very, very bad at defending the basketball first and foremost, okay? Panthers last year allowed about 76 points per game. That was 307th worst in the nation. Keep in mind, there's only about 360 college basketball teams, okay, guys? So if they're 370, if that lets you know how close to the bottom they are. Meanwhile, Rice, they were averaging about 72 points per game last season. So a lot of offense that they can bring, and then they're bringing over a coach from SMU who pushes offense as well. FIU lost a lot of players, including their very best defender. Now, Arturo Dean, that's his name, he actually led the nation in steals last year, and guess what? That 104 steals that he was able to generate with that pressure, it's gone, which means that Rice should be able to exploit this opportunity, be able to get out in transition. They have more size, which they should be able to take advantage of as well on the glass. They were averaging about 35 rebounds per game last season. Meanwhile, FIU is averaging about 30 rebounds per game, which is around 250 or so in college basketball. So for me, it's not a lot of data that we can go off of just now because both both of these teams are looking kind of brand new, but Rice is bringing in better talent here. Power 5 top school talent that's transferred because probably they didn't play that much, looking for a new environment. But FIU struggled last year defensively, and they have not even gotten better, and they lose their best defender. And then keep in mind that they're not a team that shoots that well either. They shot a modest 43% from the field last year and only 33% behind the arc. Those numbers were good for about 290th in all of college basketball. Meanwhile, Rice did have a pretty strong defensive team last year. So for me, I'm bringing Rice here. I'm taking them -6.5. Don't overthink it. That is our first pick of the day. Now, for our second college basketball best bet of the day, we're going to go to the BYU and the University of Central Arkansas game. The spread here is massive. It's like 29, 30 points. I've started as high as 34 points. I have a very hard time laying that. You guys know I do trust BYU. They're a team that is great on offense. They're a team that I do think can cover the spread, but I can't lay that type of juice. So we're just going to take the team total over 89.5. -125 odds on FanDuel. So yes, I do understand that BYU did get a brand new coach. So even though they have a new coaching staff here as they bring Kevin Young from the Phoenix Suns, I still trust the offensive weapons that this BYU team has. They should still be able to compete at a high level inside of the Big 12, which is arguably one of the toughest conferences in all of college basketball. And when you look at the numbers on KenPom, BYU is 22nd, Central Arkansas is 330, okay? So it's just like, there's just a huge disparity there. KenPom has this as a 90-62 win for BYU. I see them getting 90 points. This is the team last year that was averaging 82 points per game. Meanwhile, only giving up about 70 points per game. You have a coach here who has NBA experience in terms of being able to draft and craft up very kind of open looks. That's what the NBA coaching will give you, is open looks. Now, you got to have the players to knock down the shots, but BYU is a team that historically has had three-point shooters, has had players, and even though they did lose their top scorer in Jackson Robinson from the team, they do bring back their third leading scorer, which is Fasane Toro, who averaging about 11 points per game. They also bring in their third leading scorer and fifth leading scorer back. So basically, you're bringing in 3 of the 5 main guys back to the team in terms of returning production. You love to see that. And then again, this is a fade on Central Arkansas just as much, okay? 5-11 last year in the A-Sun, 9-23 on the year. They were giving about 80 points per game last season, so keep that in mind. They're giving up 80 points per game in the Atlantic Sun. When they play a team like BYU in the Big 12, it's just a completely different, ball game. And then Central Arkansas also did lose their leading scorer from last season as well. So not a whole lot of returning productions happening for them. I just can't lay the line movement at this point at 35, 34 points that I'm seeing on certain books. If it was at 28, 29.5 still, I probably still would have laid that. But for me, I'm just going to go the team total here over 89.5 as our second pick of the day. Well, that's it for me today, my friends. I know it was quick, short, sweet. Just 2 winners today on this card. Very limited slate on the college basketball side. If you want a third extra bonus pick, I lean Kansas State. I think Kansas State is good enough with the transfers that they have coming in. I like Jerome Tang. He is more of a grit coach, but I would take their team total rather than the spread against New Orleans. I do like that. UC Davis is a late night. I need to do a little bit more research on them as well because I'm not really bought in on Washington. But for me right now, I'm taking Rice -6.5 and get 5.5. That would be even lovelier against FIU at home. And then we're also going to take a semi-home game for BYU as this one is going to be played at the Marriott Center there in Provo, Utah. And I'm taking their team total over 89.5 against Central Arkansas. So just 2 quick winners to start off the college basketball slate. To back tomorrow, NBA will be here. We'll have some college basketball winners. Auburn plays tomorrow. Arkansas plays tomorrow. A lot of great games tomorrow, so we'll be excited for that. And as always, let's get to that money. Dictate your fate. Appreciate the love and support, and let's get after that money. Later, gang.